What is going on, everybody? It's the France. We're back again with the penultimate video for the live stream reveals, as apparently tomorrow, the next video is going to be the finale. I believe it's out tomorrow. I could be wrong, but let's get into this right now. It is the final deck profile of Artemis and her Like a Void champion of Artemis. Let's get into this.
Welcome, casters. It's finally time to highlight the Artemis starter deck and the mysterious forces of the lunar element coming in LifeStrean. Today's video will showcase all of the incredible cards coming in the Artemis starter deck, my personal favorite, as well as unveil the new potential of Like a Void, Champion of Artemis, Escape from Tartarus. The cornerstone of this starter deck is, of course, the divine goddess of the hunt, Artemis, and her powerful suppression effect. You can disenchant a lunar spirit from your Artemis to target face-up cards in the field and suppress them until the end of that opponent's next turn. This allows you to suppress artifact runes, divine runes, Elestrals, and much more, and be able to turn on a handful of the different effects of her lunar Elestrals throughout the deck. Her first champion is the adorable little fawnlet that she rescued in the forest with a broken horn.
Aww, it looks so scared.
This fawnlet hits the field with 2 attack and 5 defense with a very powerful ramping effect, allowing it to enchant a lunar spirit from the underworld to the fawnlet if a card on the opponent's field is suppressed. Very easy to turn online, of course, with your Artemis. While a suppressed Elestral is on the field, whether it's yours or your opponent's, fawnlet actually cannot be destroyed in battle. This makes fawnlet an incredible pair for cards like Dense Fog, and also just your general...
I mean, there's a 5 defense, so a lot of the times, if you have it in defense position, it's not going to get destroyed anyway, because it's a 5 defense.
Support utilizing Artemis to suppress. Keeping fawnlet around and being able to enchant additional spirits to it allows you to ramp into your 3 spirit lunar Elestrals very easily. This fawnlet ascends into the powerful Theraheart, a 6 attacker with 6 defense that can search your deck for a lunar counter rune and add it to your hand. This may seem a bit underwhelming at first, but that's only because you haven't seen all of the amazing counter runes located in this deck.
I was going to say, there's not too many lunar counter runes at this time until we figure out some more.
As a reminder, Rise from the Shadows is an incredible target. Dense Fog, Lunar Phase, Full Moon, and of course, Artemis.
Obviously, you're going to get Lunar Phase Full Moon most of the time. Like, Lunar Phase Full Moon is so powerful. It is like it's the most powerful lunar phase out there.
This is Deadshot, which I'll get to later in this video. And last but certainly not least, the Theraheart ascends into Posthumous, Champion of Artemis, with one of the most devastating effects we've released. As a 13 attacker with 8 defense, this Posthumous will heal you up when a suppressed Elestral is destroyed by your attack or by your card effect. You get to heal 3 spirits from your underworld to your spirit deck. That provides a tremendous amount of generation advantage in a mid to late game scenario.
Yes, it does.
And while your Artemis is enchanted, each of your opponent's Elestrals are suppressed, meaning you're turning off all of your opponent's effects, enabling your Posthumous to heal your spirit deck and allow you to do massive damage. Our old friend from Moonrise, fawnlet, will also be returning as an incredible Artemis searcher, providing more defensive prowess for the deck. And of course, one of the reveals you've been most anticipating is none other than Artemis's Deadshot, a powerful new counter rune that says...
Look at that card art, though. I love it. Like, you can just see how it's like Artemis probably was holding that arrow in, letting it charging it up, and then just lets it go, and bam! It hits down the middle, breaking into the arrow that it just destroyed.
This Artemis Deadshot can only be played when an opponent casts an Elestral. Disenchant Lunar from your Artemis equal to that Elestral's enchantment cost in order to target and destroy it. Artemis's Deadshot becomes an incredible removal.
Obviously, if you have this on the field and someone gets a 3 cost on there, it's gonna be difficult with the fact that you probably wouldn't have 3 spirits on your Artemis at the time. So this one seems like if your opponent is somehow able to get a 3 cost on the field, you're not going to be able to destroy it because you have to have that equal amount under your Artemis to be able to use it.
Tool for the Artemis suppression-based decks, allowing you to destroy Elestrals on their cast and generate massive control and board advantage. As a 1-cost lunar, Deadshot fits into many Artemis builds as a powerful tool, and I expect to see a tremendous amount of play in these suppression-based strategies. Don't forget, it's searchable through your new Theraheart as well, allowing you to lock down your opponent's field in a big way. Suppression is a huge part of this strategy, which is why we've included a handful of other key cards. Poison-tipped Arrow, Artemis's Arrow, allows you to target Elestrals and suppress them while giving them -2 attack and -2 defense until the next turn. And this card
again, when we're gonna come to a day where most, if not all, of the Omni Ruins are 100% banned, and then you're gonna have to rely on shots like this, like Artemis, Poison Tipped Arrow, Turbo, and that's the only PTA you're gonna have. Maybe Apollo gets one too. I don't know, but it feels like we're going to get to a point where he's gonna ban eventually, slowly but surely, going to ban all Omni Ruins.
Card is actually a free cast if you.
And I'm not saying like the next 6 months or so, but there's going to be like say a year or two from now, where all the Omni Ruins from base set are banned.
Also have an Artemis on the field, as you can heal up a spirit as well. Very powerful, being able to turn on your Specterus Champion of Artemis and enable your suppression-based effects even easier. Dense Fog is going to return as a powerful suppression tool to hit the entire field.
I mean, Dense Fog is a great counter rune for the Lunar deck, so not surprised.
And I expect that to be a great card in the upcoming set. We also have a new Dense Fog card coming to LifeStrean, which is Dense Fog Achilles Mist. This powerful.
Okay, so is it going to be? It's going to be Achilles. Achilles is going to be the second one. I don't know. Like the fact that you have Achilles on the title makes me wonder if that's going to be the other lunar divine. Well, obviously can't say that because we do have like thunder. We have like you have Aphrodite has a thunder in her champions and everything else. So it could be Achilles is one of the other ones. It might be lunar, it might not be lunar.
One cost lunar counter rune states until the next turn changes to an Elestrals attack or defense from effects don't apply. That is a very powerful effect.
I mean, that is a counter to Galaxy.
Effect that turns off the likes of Galaxy, Zeus, and many other cards.
That too.
Being able to interact with these stat swaps and stat changes allows you to have the edge over your opponents when they go into battle. But wait, there's more, because Dense Fog Achilles Mist has a second effect that states when this Dense Fog is discarded by your Lunar Elestrals effect or an opponent's effect, you can draw two cards. Which means if your opponent hands rip you with maybe that new Poison Nectar Dionysus is rocking, guess what? You can discard this card and draw two cards. Or if you remember my good friend Toxiri and Night Venom from the Moonrise era, well, guess what? Some incredible synergy there, with Night Venom being able to destroy two cards by discarding this and drawing two cards. Oh, baby. I'm sure you guys are already cooking. It is worth noting that Dense Fog Achilles Mist is not in the Artemis starter deck, but it's a common in the main set, so you guys will have no problem finding it.
Interesting that you put it out here, even though you have a Tomorrow deck to go with, but obviously he wants to show you different lunar counter runes. But if it's not in the starter deck, why is it being put here? It should be put in tomorrow's video, the next video, the last video, and not the final deck profile.
We've got a handful of other suppression-based cards come into this deck as well, including Werepup, Champion of Artemis returning, being able to turbo into your Like a Void, and of course you've got the Moonrise Werepup and Like a Void also returning, allowing you to search out your lunar phases and turbo into an unaffected counter rune Like a Void as well. Lunar Phase Full Moon getting a well-deserved reprint, which I know a lot of people are excited about, allowing that Werepup to ascend very quickly, and also pile Lunar Spirits.
A free print that's not hollow, mind you.
To your field super fast. I know this is one of the most anticipated cards being reprinted, so you can grab it comfortably in your Artemis starter deck. Lunar Phase, however, is getting some more epic support because Lunar Phase Lunar Eclipse is coming to the
we got another Lunar Phase
Artemis starter deck. This is a 2-cost Lunar Invoke rune that states target and destroy face-down runes up to the number of Lunar Elestrals on your field. While this Lunar Phase is on a chain, its title also counts as Full Moon.
Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty. That means you can get a Like a Void out still.
That means you can use this Lunar Phase, Lunar Eclipse, to destroy your opponent's runes and set up for powerful plays. You can utilize this with its second effect to ascend your Werepup into a Like a Void. There's a lot of potential here. This now turns Like a Void into a one-card, one-turn combo, being able to go from Werepup, search this, cast this on your first turn, and go into Like a Void, making it incredibly powerful. The next topic I want to talk about is Like a Void, Champion of Artemis, Escape from Tartarus. We originally announced a few weeks back that we were going to be doing an errata and changing Like a Void Champion of Artemis to give it a new effect that had a more suppression-focused strategy, kind of curbing some of the power level of the...
Yeah, and then we all told you that's a stupid idea from Bad Creative. Don't do it.
Swarming that Like a Void was doing in the game. I heard your feedback and recognized that the errata was not something you guys were interested in, so we actually decided to change it to become the first ever Champion of Artemis Escape from Tartarus version, and that's what's in the starter decks.
Man, I like that other picture where you had him like held up chained and everything. You could have had him like breaking the chains. That would have been so cool.
We managed to get this all slotted in with our USA manufacturer before going to print to kind of
the benefit, the absolute benefit of working with the United States printing company and not having to deal with China. Because if this was still in China, this wouldn't be until like set 7 before we would see this.
I've listened to the feedback, make improvements, and ultimately deliver an awesome card in the starter deck that is at an appropriate power level for the game. This new Lycovoid Champion of Artemis Escape from Tartarus will retain the errata effect that we initially proposed, but of course it will count as a new individual card, meaning that in the future, if we ever want to take Lycovoid Champion of Artemis, not Escape from Tartarus, off the ban list and bring it back to the game, we have the flexibility to do so. And we heard you loud and clear that you guys, as the players, would much prefer that approach, so we're going to continue with that for the future. This effect states that when you cast a Lycovoid, you can special cast a Werepup from your deck with Lunar Suppress for each suppressed card an opponent controls. So rather having the flexibility to cast any number of Werepup, you simply cast Werepup equal to the number of suppressed cards your opponent controls. While this is a step down in power level, I think it'll be very welcomed, and again, we have more flexibility in the future to make changes, update our ban list, and ultimately bring the original Lycovoid back in full force.
Nah, I think this is good. You don't have to bring the original Lycovoid Champion of Artemis back. Like, this is good.
It's also worth noting that this incredible Lycovoid Champion of Artemis Escape from Tartarus card will receive an incredible full art reprint in Shattered Stars Libra, so stay tuned for that.
Ew.
I do want to mention that this was one of the hardest decisions I've had to make as the head game designer of Elestrals. I was juggling a lot of pieces, trying to...
Well, here's the thing, Dan, and this is something, obviously they do testing all the time. They ask for people to test all the time. You need to get better testers, because if you would have had better testers, you would have been able to get this caught before Lycovoid Champion of Artemis came out in Firestorm and wouldn't have had to do a edit card or a Escape from Tartarus card or anything. Maybe you need to pick your... I'm not saying I can do it because I've tried multiple times and never been accepted, but maybe if you had better testers and people actually like try to make the game better, instead of like just going with your gut feeling, which this is a big issue with Dan too, is that people say that this is a bad idea, maybe you shouldn't do this, and he goes with it anyway. And this definitely feels like Dan saw this effect on the Champion of Artemis. Like, this is a cool effect, this is going to be great, everything's going to work out fine. Not seeing the future, not like seeing, oh well, this could be an issue, we're going to have to eventually ban this and make a change the way now you have to have this. So maybe if he would actually open his mind a little bit more and like get more, like take the feet, like try and like, I would, if you see here's what I would think he should do. You see an effect like that, put it out there for everyone to see and give feedback before you even print the original card, so you could have made the change in the first place.
To determine how can I balance the level of player dissatisfaction over this very overwhelming card in Firestorm with the fact that it was receiving support in LifeStrean with our brand new Lunar Eclipse card.
That's another thing. If you knew it was going to get because he works 7, he's like, we only see what, set 6. He's on set 8, maybe 9 for cards being made and sent to print and everything, and getting all that done. If you knew it was getting support in LifeStream, why the heck did you put it in Firestorm, and why didn't you have it set up in LifeStream? Why didn't you have the effect to where it wouldn't be this big of an issue? That is on Dan.
And it was meant to be a core focus of the Artemis decks, while other decks were getting access to swarm tools like Aphros, Magnaros, Iwooly, and others. These are becoming more commonplace in Elestrals, and I believe that Lycovoid Champion of Artemis has a place in Elestrals in the future. It maybe just came a little sooner than people would have liked. This change to ultimately go with the Escape from Tartarus version opens up more possibilities in the future for us, and ultimately opens more design space in case we do something like this again. This has been a great lesson for us in our testing process.
Well, again, maybe you should do better testing. If you know a champion card is going to get support in the next set, like set 7 or 8, and you know that that's going to make the card overwhelming, maybe you should try and work on the effects of the cards and try and catch it before it comes to the next set, and we get something like we did with this.
Process and our learning process about splashability of Elestrals and the good stuff piles. And that's something we're going to continue to address over the next couple sets, is making adjustments to our card pool to allow for more strategy, archetype focused game plan decks as opposed to just splashing the best cards in Elestrals altogether. So stay tuned for more updates on the design process and what we're looking to do. But now that I can finally show you all the things that we've been working on and all of the new cards, hopefully it sheds a little bit more light into how this was such a difficult decision for us and what led me to trying to do the errata in the first place. But I'm super glad you guys pushed back on that. I'm really excited about the Escape from Tartarus version of this.
If you guys were competent at doing your job of testing, and you realize, oh shoot, we have this counter ruin, this new lunar phase that's coming out, not in set 5 but set 6, and it's going to make this card super busted. Maybe you would have realized, oh shoot, maybe we should pull that power level down a little bit because it's going to go from 10 to 20. How about we pull it down to 5 so it can go to 10 and be better, like be boosted in LifeStream and not be at the full effect in Firestorm.
And how we can approach this moving forward. I'm the first to admit I'm not a perfect game designer. I'm certainly learning as I go. So thank you for giving your opinion in a constructive way so we can make the best game possible. Now, going back to highlighting some of the amazing cards in this starter deck, we've got Pandalin's Champion of Artemis, which can force your opponent to expend a spirit every time an Elestral becomes suppressed.
This Pandalin's looks like it's diving down into into attack and go after its victim below.
Specterus, Champion of Artemis, which can special cast itself out if your opponent has at least one suppressed card. And of course, Bandaloon, Champion of Artemis, which can steal your opponent's one spirit Elestrals if they're suppressed. These tools are going to come together to make the Artemis suppression strategy even stronger than ever before. The cornerstone of suppression, Specterus from Daybreak, is returning alongside Comalis, enabling powerful Nexus strategies and ramping into your powerful Posthumus. We've got a hand.
OG Specterus is just so good. I don't see those unless eventually it gets banned, which would be absolutely ridiculous. If you're running Lunar decks, if you don't have at least 1 or 2 Specteruses in your deck, what are you doing? I don't want to mean champion, I mean actual OG Specterus from Daybreak. If that's not in your Lunar deck, what are you doing? It's just so good.
Full of powerful runes coming into the deck, including our staple cards, Bow of Artemis, Temple of the Moon, Rise from the Shadows, the brand new counter rune, Cryoblast is a powerful removal tool, Ambrosia, Gorgon's Gaze, and of course Poison-Tipped Arrow, all making a debut in the Artemis starter deck. Of course, the Artemis starter deck will have incredible stellar rares. I'm quite excited for these. Our reverse stellar for the bunch is, of course, none other than Artemis's Deadshot, which looks amazing.
Oh my god, look at that blue. All over the place, just look at the blue. Holy crap. Holy cow, what a reverse stellar.
Amazing. I need 3 copies of this stat. And let's not forget about the amazing Fawnlet, Champion of Artemis, which is getting an X out of 9.
Not a surprise, but okay, again, look at the blue. Sheesh.
99 stellar rare, where only 99 starter decks in the world will ever contain this incredible card. And don't forget, LifeStream, the rates are better than ever before, and these starter decks come with 3 booster packs, meaning you have a chance to get reverse stellars, stellars, and full arts in those packs and enhance your strategy. Divine packs are there, where they're loaded with stellars, and a brand new full art textured card is coming. Posthumus, Champion of Artemis, one of our amazing textured cards coming to LifeStream, an incredible treat to pull out of your packs. And with that, we are now concluding all of our starter breakdowns for Divine Champions LifeStream. Be sure to secure your pre-orders.
That is your starter decks, and after all 4, I said it before and I'll say it again, these starter decks just feel so much better. Like the Firestorm ones did not hit at all. Like, at all. To me, it felt like with the starter decks from Firestorm, they were built to to match up against each other, and that was it. You had Zeus and Poseidon, Zeus and Hermes. You had Hestia and Hermes. Zeus, Hestia versus, how did that go? It was Hestia versus Zeus, and then Hermes was like whatever it was. Those were your starter decks. It was like you got this dual pack with these 2 starter decks. And a dual pack with these 2 starter decks, and it was just that those starter decks felt like they were meant to clash with each other and not the other starter decks or anyone else. They just didn't feel like they hit with the. They didn't have the oomph to feel like if you pulled this starter deck out and you only wanted to play with the starter deck, you could go up against anything else. These starter decks feel like they might need minimal tweak. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you could go into a tournament with these starter decks, an actual tournament, and possibly do some damage. And I don't want to say win, but you could do fairly well. I would say that Artemis definitely has a good leg up on it. Maybe. I mean, suppression is great. Obviously, Dionysus with his days in enrage also is a very powerful 2-1-2 effect that there's no really any counter to days in enrage if you think about it. I would love to see in set 6 or set 7, which obviously would be an Omni, which is not going to happen. Dan wants to try and get all Omni runes eventually. Like he has this he's talked about it. He just doesn't want to see Omni runes be used that often. He wants the searchability. He wants the counter ability. He wants you to, if you, he doesn't want, and it just seems like it. I could be reading into it too much. He has this thought of like there shouldn't be any cards that could just be splashed into any deck, which I think is ridiculous. Ash Rabbit's always going to be that unless they ban it, which eventually they probably will. Morgan's Gaze, Poison Tipped Arrow, Shield of Achilles, Ambrosia, or 5 cards that should be able to be put in any single deck. And eventually they're all going to be banned. You'll have other ways to get heals and other type of counter ruins and all that. By the time the Divine Champion era is over next year, we can see no more. All the Omni ruins are being banned because to him he has the like the healing and the countering and everything and the searchability for specific cards and ruins finds found in each of the elements. So he'll probably feel like they don't need to have the Omni ruins anymore. But this is your live stream reveals. We have one more video left. They said the finale is going to be, I think, tomorrow. That is going to be all for now. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, and I'll see you guys for the finale of the Divine Champion live stream when it comes out. Until then, my name is Grant, and I'll see you guys later.